Chief Magistrate Francis Andai is currently holding a pre-sentencing hearing for the two men who were found guilty of carrying out the Westgate Mall terror attack that left at least 67 people dead in 2013. The two face up to 40 years in prison. Here's a recap of how the court arrived at the guilty verdict.
After a 7-year-long trial for the three 2013 Westgate Mall terror suspects and 5 postponements, it was finally Judgment Day at the Milimani Law Courts.
For the charge of conspiracy and giving support, I'm satisfied that the prosecution has proved these charges against the first and the fourth accused persons. I find them guilty and I convict them accordingly.
Phone call data availed as evidence by the prosecution established that Mohammed Abdi, the first accused, was in constant communication with the Westgate Mall terrorists and even accommodated one of the attackers. In addition, a laptop confiscated from Abdi upon his arrest 9 days after the deadly attack near Kitale while en route to Kakuma refugee camp from Nairobi had violent material in form of video clips that encouraged terrorism.
There were people who are encouraging or urging others to take up arms against other people who are being referred to as infidels. And indeed, it has been shown through the evidence that at the scene of the attack, the attackers referred to the victims as infidels, and other videos showed a demonstration of how a terrorist attack should be executed, and that is what happened in this case.
Mobile phone conversations retrieved from the fourth accused, Hussein Mustafa, established that he was in communication with the Westgate Mall terrorists who left additional SIM cards in the car used to commit the crime, abandoned few meters from the entrance of the mall, thereby conspiring to commit terrorism and supporting a terrorist group. In total, there were about 226 phone conversations between June and August 2013, just days before the terror attack. The court, however, acquitted the second accused, Liban Abdullahi, brother to one of the Westgate terrorists, for lack of evidence linking him to commissioning, conspiracy and aiding a terror activity. The convicted suspects now face a maximum of 40 years imprisonment for the 2 counts of conspiracy to commit terrorism and supporting a terrorist group.
I think finally the victims of the Westgate attack have gotten justice. We're still going to study the judgment and see whether we might need to appeal against that. But I think all in all, it's been a long journey. It's finally over for the victims.
The suspects left the Milimani Law Courts under heavy security coordinated by the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit.